Welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So in this video we'll be taking you through the paintwork on this Mazda 3, painted in Louise Blue Metallic, and the colour code for this is Q7. So all of the prep work's already been done. We then taken it into the booth, dusted it off with the air gun and masked it all up. And now I'm wiping it down with the wax and grease removing cloth. I just included a small amount of this, and it's at double speed just to stop the vid from getting too long for you. So I obviously continued that step over the entire job, and now I'm wiping the entire job down with a tack cloth. And the high pressure there with these doors, it's important you get right into the inside and all those nooks and crannies where bits of dust can fly out from. And I've left it at 1.5 times speed for the base coat, just to get through the bit a little bit quicker, to stop it from getting too long, because it's a quite a decent sized job, this one. So I'm using the DeVilbiss GTI Pro with the H1 Air Cap, which I've been using on a long time now, and I'm a bit of a fan of this air cap, but lately I've actually been changing it up and using different guns with some different setups. So in the videos to come you can look forward to some different gun reviews and stuff like that. So we're doing all of the mouldings and the sill cover, all the door handles and stuff like that on this car. Sometimes you're better off doing that because from factory they're a different colour anyway, and that way if you do them all then they're all going to look all good once the car's finished off. It actually turned out that on this job we had two different colours, so we painted the entire side, but the rear bumper bar was a different colour and the boot lid was a different colour than the fender and the bonnet area. So I actually had to mix up two colours, and I'm blending I'm painting most of the car in the colour that is up the front, but to match up to this boot lid here I ended up changing one colour and just blending into it, and you'll see me doing that if you hang around and continue to watch. So after your second coat you can see it's basically all covered up. Might be a little bit transparent in a couple of areas, but the third coat will have it basically all covered up, and we'll be right to clear over it after a third coat. And the reason we're blending into that rear bumper is just for the sake of the colour as well. So doing the entire door gaps and openings and stuff like that. So you guys have probably noticed a bit of music at the start, something I haven't usually put in, but I've just bought this new editing program and got some pretty cool things that I can do with it. I recommend hanging around to the end, even if you are a regular viewer of my videos and you have seen them all. I'd recommend just hanging around to the end, and there's a pretty cool little thing at the end there you can check out. Something I could never do with my previous editing program. So just going over, finishing our second coat off. I ended up editing out the insides of the doors and all that kind of stuff, so just focus on the exteriors. So now we're on to our third and final coat of base coat. We're doing our tech coat, effect coat, drop coat, call it what you will. It's just the coat that we're putting on a little bit lighter than the other coats to get the metallic to stand up nicely and the pearl coat to sit on there nicely. And I like to get the pressure up in these HVLP guns. Sometimes I drop them down just a touch for the first couple of coats, but then raise it up for that last coat. And you see how I'm really going on a lot quicker, and it's not going on quite as heavy. It's going to get that metallic standing up quite nice. So pressure settings for this, I like to set it up around the 2 bar mark for my last coat, but just as I said, in the interest of saving paint, you can drop it down to about 1.7, which is 2 bars about 29 psi, and 1.7 would be about 26, 27 type thing. So yeah, this is quite an efficient gun. The H1 Air Cap get quite good finishes with both clear coat and base coat, although I wouldn't recommend using it for clear coat in the colder months, as you'll get a lot of material on there and you do run the risk of getting runs. I used to use it all year round because I was using the high solid clears, so the VOC clears as well are really quite thick, so you need the HVLP gun to get that amount of fluid out on the panel. But yeah, if you're using just normal clears, I'd recommend just using a conventional air cap on your clear coat. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's just about the point where I can just about grab a gun that I've never used and get good finishes with it straight away. So I've just got myself an Iwata W400 Classic. Ballaria is the setup it's called. It's brand new, bought out this year, 2014. And that's going to be featuring in some videos soon. So they're doing a review and demo and clear coat and base coat and all that kind of stuff. So this is what I was telling you about before, just doing the blend over that boot lid. That was my second colour. So because I'm blending it for the boot lid and the rear bumper, and I've put it over where the fuel flap goes. That's why you saw me spray it over that fuel flap area too. So now we're on to our clear coat, and I'm using the DeVilbiss GTI Pro Lite with the TE20 Air Cap on it, and that's a 1.3mm setup I've got on there too. So I've slowed it down to real-time video, as you can see here. And for American viewers, both of these guns are actually called a Tekna and a Tekna Pro Lite. So exactly the same gun, same air caps. I think there actually is one little slight difference, is that if you see on the bottom of my gun, on the gun itself, it's got a air valve down the bottom there, whereas I'm pretty sure the American ones don't have them. I think you must just have to run your own regulator to adjust the air volume, which is what I do anyway, and to be honest, that air valve that I have on mine never gets touched. I just leave it at full wide open and adjust it from the regulator. So pressure settings for this gun, I like to set it at 25 psi, and I like to wind the fluid right in, so you come right in and then come out about 3 turns. So that'll depend on the kind of clears that you're spraying with, or what you're trying to spray, the temperatures and the hardness, and using a fast hardener and all that kind of stuff. It may vary on the way you want to set your gun up, but I've found at this time of the year it's sort of a bit cold, and set the boost to 30 degrees, yet the panel temperature is still probably struggling to get above 20 degrees, so that can lead to, being that the panel's a little bit colder, you can lead to runs because the paint's not drying quick enough. So in the colder months, you have the fluid wound in a little bit more. In the hotter months, wind it right out and smash it on. It's going to dry real quick. So a job like this, if this was in the middle of summer that I was doing this, I would not stop. By the time I'd be using normal hardener, whereas I'm using fast hardener here. I'd be using normal hardener to slow it down, and I'd just go around the job. Once you've got your first coat on, go back to where you started, and straight away put your second coat on, because that will only take a couple of minutes to flash off, which is the couple of minutes it takes you to go around the job for the be right to continue on. So this is an extremely easy gun to use, and I do recommend it to a lot of new guys in the trade. They're a pretty awesome gun because they're cost efficient. They're not overly priced. Some of the other good quality guns are up around the $1,000 mark. You can get these for under $500 brand new. So this is what we're doing here, is the blend. So it was just a bit of a freebie. The customer's not paying any extra. It was just to make the entire side look nice. So depending on the shop you're working at, some bosses may just say, no, I don't like you doing blend-ins, and they might want you to match the colour, but sometimes it's just easier. It makes my life easier to do that, and then I'm just blowing that bit of thinners over there, and there's nothing wrong with doing stuff like this. We polish all those edges up, we run the buff over that, and it just makes the entire side look real nice and blows that bumper bar in. It's actually not really that technical, as you can see there. All I've had to do is just finish my paint and then blow that thinners over the edge, and make sure I scotch brighted it correctly down there, and that'll buff up quite nice. You just have to be careful with those the thinners when you blow it over the edge. It can actually run sometimes. When I was apprentice, and I never used to have a dedicated spot repair gun like that one, that minigun I've got, and the good thing about having them is because they got such a small needle in them and fan, less chance of getting runs, because yeah, if you spray that thinners through your big gun, be careful, it will run. And if you do, maybe just wind the fluid right in again, as I was saying earlier about your settings. So just yeah, going on with our second coat, going on a little bit heavier. Just got to always, when you're refinishing, you've got to have a look at the orange peel on the rest of the car, and we've got to try and replicate that. So this car had been done before, and I decided, well, factory, these things are pretty peely, so I decided to go with and match as the other guy's peel, which actually ends up looking better than factory. So if it had been a brand new car and it hadn't have been painted before, I would have tried to replicate that factory peel, but yeah, as I say, someone else has already made it look better. They didn't replicate it, so I'll replicate their peel instead. And they would be the reason why there's two different colours, as I mentioned earlier, just colour at the front and the colour at the back. So I've had to match two different colours. It's not totally uncommon. Most of the time you don't have to through blends, but we didn't blend into the boot lid, so had to match that second colour up there. So let me know what you guys think of, shoot some comments down the bottom. Don't forget to hit that like button. It helps my videos show up in search results, and it gets other people able to see them. If you like what you see, hit that like button. Check me out on Facebook. I've got a Facebook page. And yep, as I say, feedback's always welcome. Anything you guys think I can do to improve my vids. And a great bit of feedback I've had off you guys is wear your gloves, mate. You know, what are you doing with not wearing your gloves? And you see this video and I'm not wearing my gloves, and since making this, it's only like in the last couple of weeks I've started wearing gloves, and yeah, I look back at this footage now and I think, how the hell did I do that? Like, yeah, which is obviously what you guys were thinking. But for my entire career I just thought, nah, gloves are for sissies, you know, like a bit of paint on my hand, it's not going to kill me. But you know, I just yeah, just get home and I have clean hands. It's more the clean hands, to be honest, than yeah, the paint doing any damage. It's not good for you, but yeah, it's just more about having clean hands. So there you go. So couple of minutes, I'll let you guys watch the rest of this and listen to some music at the same time. And when we have a look at it, I'll continue to take you through. Couple of minutes, we'll have a good look at it and have a look at it when it's finished off in the wash bay, and make sure you do check out that ending too. that's the job just about finished off there. There was one more coat of clear that I had on the front door, but I decided to cut it out because I think the video's got long enough as it is, and I think we've covered enough already. And yeah, so all in all, here's the job. We'll have a quick look at it up close, and it's quite clean. I've got a nice orange PL on it. There's not much dust in it. You get a couple of pieces, you're always going to. You'll probably notice that the two doors up that end of the booth and this fender here are quite nice, but as we come up to this quarter panel, there's a few more bits of dust in it, and there is a reason for that. Because in this spray booth, the fan is up the other end of the booth where the two doors are, and what happens up this end of the booth is that the air actually circulates, and when you're spraying, that overspray will actually come up and they'll form a bit of a vortex, and so it'll hit, the overspray will go up and dry in the air and come back down and land back on the panel as a piece of dust. So yeah, that's something that might help you guys out thinking about positioning your panels in the spray booth. If you find you're getting a lot of dust, maybe move the panel around and find the best spot in your booth. And this is the job once it's all been polished off. We like to do them within the week. Obviously we're a workshop, so we can't be leaving it for too long, and you don't want to leave the paint too long before you cut it. You've got about a week's window. You start going beyond that, and then it's still can be cut up, but it's just going to take a long time because the paint's starting to fully cure. So check out these couple of vids at the end here. This is what I was telling you about, something that I was never able to do. Video ending, so I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty awesome. Thanks again for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.